Judges, please help me welcome the team from Nigeria.
Careful, talk. My shy.
Might give you
Yes, I was a cheese. I should just come on, how to do it. Judge said, name us collect the so that in case time.
What the fight has done? Seriously.
It's normal now. All this play or playing. Name us in case of time.
You have 1 minute left in your setup period. You may now begin your presentation.
What comes to your mind when you see these images in the news? Pity? Indifference? Or do you see a need to take action? According to United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, 65.3 million people are displaced worldwide. This figure, measured against the world's population of 7.3 billion people, means that 1 in every 113 people worldwide is either a refugee, an asylum seeker, or internally displaced.
In all, there are more displaced people today than the population of the United Kingdom, France, or even Canada. At sea, a frightening number of refugees die daily, just like Alan Kurdi. On land, people fleeing are finding their ways blocked by closed borders, while those who remain in their countries are forced to live within the confinement of camps, facing dehumanizing conditions. Sadly, our country, Nigeria, is not left out, as it ranked third on the list of countries with displaced persons due to insurgency from the northeastern part of our country. Maiduguri, Borno State, which is one of the worst hit states in Nigeria, used to be a city synonymous with hospitality, a principal trading hub with rich cultural heritage, booming agriculture. This city gained global attention when over 300 Chibok girls were kidnapped from their school by the dreaded Boko Haram group.
This city is now in ruins. Its villages ransacked, its borders closed, her schools vacated. Over 20,000 of its inhabitants have been killed, and over 1.4 million displaced, living in improvised camp not worthy to be called home. 59% of these people are children that are hungry, naked, homeless, and maimed. But as a team, we were confident that we could recreate that city by taking relevant action in creating a better future, by giving 263 children access to quality education,
Distributed over 1 million books worth over $2 million.
created 394 jobs, and in over $17,000 income.
We saved the environment by recycling over 10 tons of waste.
And we bridged the social divide by uniting over 2 million Nigerians across 15 states.
52 years ago, this child was made orphaned and displaced as a result of the Civil War. He was later adopted by the late Omar Bongo, and today, that orphan child, Ali Bongo, is now the president of Gabon. But just like Ali Bongo, there are millions of displaced children around the world that have dreams and potentials to become leaders, but lack access to education, shelter, and even food. Most of these children haven't watched their parents being killed and their hopes dashed, grew up to develop hatred against the society that abandoned them and take up arms against it. But the question is, should these children be abandoned? Do they have to continue on this lane of poverty when they have you and I? What happens to me if as a child I lose my parents due to insurgency? Does that mean the end of the road for me? Does it mean all my dreams are dashed to the ground?
It is with the belief that a child's future knows no bound nor limits that we came up with the project Power to the IDPs. This project is aimed at ensuring that IDP children have access to quality education while the adults have a sustainable livelihood.
On the needs assessment to Maiduguri, northeast Nigeria, we found that all schools have been closed for 3 years, forcing over 500,000 children out of school. The internally displaced persons face social isolation that prevent them from being part of our society as they are forced to live within the confinement of camps, relying solely on aids, thereby making them vulnerable to be used by the insurgents. We also discovered waste tires littered around the states, as the tires were burned by thugs and insurgents at the heat of the crisis, emitting dangerous gases which are harmful to the environment.
In one of our visits to the Ministry of Education in Maiduguri, a bomb explosion occurred few minutes after our departure, killing and injuring several people. We almost lost our lives. But that did not deter us, knowing that a life worth living is a life worth sacrificing.
This visit offered us a shocking realization of their specific needs. We therefore divided our implementation strategies into two phases. First, we thought of returning the children back to school in order to break the vicious circle of illiteracy and poverty by establishing an efficient and functional school system in the camp where children can go to school. Secondly, we sought to restore the livelihoods of the adults by empowering them with skills, because only the skillful can be useful. This is how we carried out the educational phase of this project.
Knowing that the older generation in the state has done more harm than good, we look into the future to write a new page in the history of Borno State by educating those who will be responsible in weaving a new fabric of culture. Honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, these weavers are the children of today and tomorrow.
Knowing that they will need educational materials, such as text and exercise books, we carried out a cost analysis, where we discovered that a child will need over $43 worth of educational materials in an academic session. This means that he will need over $257 for the 6 years of his primary education. And our target in this first phase was to take 252 children back to school. These children will need a cumulative of $62,000 worth of educational materials.
But generating this money will almost be impossible. So, we came up with a DAB campaign. Yes, DAB, an acronym for Donate a Book. Our team created a One Nigerian project involving Nigerians to donate at least one book towards the education of an IDP child. With the power of the social media, we're able to reach Nigerians from all walks of life, religion, and culture. The success of this action drew massive media attention, thereby making this campaign a national movement.
Celebrities, religious and traditional leaders lent their voices in promoting this campaign. My favorite was when the Minister of State for Education invited us to personally donate his books.
But Nigerians were faced with the challenge of how to get these books from their locations to us. This led us to partner with the Nigerian Postal Service for the collection and our distribution of these books and other educational materials to the IDP camp free of charge. So far, we have received over 1 million books and other educational materials from Nigerians across 15 states.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can be part of our One Nigeria project by sending your educational materials towards the education of an IDP child.
Having been able to gather all these educational materials, our next challenge was coming up with innovative solutions in constructing classrooms, tables and chairs for the children to learn within the camp. In order to achieve this, we carried out a market survey. We found that it would cost about $571 to construct one classroom tent with tables and chairs.
But why spend this much when we can save money, save the planet by turning waste into useful products?
We discovered 2 non-biodegradable materials that pollute the environment and fit perfectly into our solution: used tires and flex banners.
First, we came up with a collection process whereby organizations agreed to donate their used flex banners in exchange for their waste being disposed by our team for free, thereby saving them an average of $14 monthly previously used in disposing their waste.
To ensure a sustainable system, we partner with Kaduna State Environmental Protection Authority in the collection and disposal of all these wastes.
After collection, we constructed 6 classroom tents using waste flex banners, 132 chairs and tables using waste tires, and we also constructed 6 bookshelves using waste drums, thereby saving $2,881 in the process.
We then deployed our school in the camp innovation to Dallery 1 IDP camp, a dangerous territory, 20 kilometers from the famous Sambisa Forest, the heart of insurgency, which is the largest IDP camp in Nigeria, with over 5,000 out-of-school children.
Knowing that these children are traumatized, I will require a unique teaching approach. We partnered with UNICEF and Save the Children Foundation to design a special curriculum that heals the traumatized hearts and motivate them to learn.
During our stay in the camp, we used stories and visuals to teach the children in their various classes. And in order to accommodate more students, we separated our classes into 2. The morning class for the elementary pupils and the afternoon class for the secondary students.
And after our intervention, 252 children can now go to school in the camp.
In order to ensure a sustainable school system, we identified 27 displaced teachers in the camp to continue the teaching of these children. And we partnered with the Department of Education Technical of our institution in retraining these teachers.
We also partner with the Borno State Commissioner for Education in ensuring that 27 teacher salary scheme is restored, each earning $51 monthly and a yearly cumulative of over $6,000.
On a thought, we realized that the orphans in the camp require special attention due to their traumatic experience. Some of them watched their parents killed. These children lack parental care and motivation to go to school as they are displaced within the displaced camp. We took action by giving 11 of these children scholarship outside of the camp.
First, we partnered with the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, NAPS, where 16 private schools agreed to offer these children scholarship. Next, we partnered with the Save the Children Foundation and the Ministry of Education in selecting 11 of these orphans that will benefit in the pilot phase of this scholarship.
11 of these orphans are now happy and their hopes reignited as they are in top private schools in Kaduna State, Nigeria. Plans are on ground to ensure that 50 more IDP children benefit from this scholarship scheme this year.
And now, we are proud to tell you the results of our educational intervention.
263 children now have access to quality education.
We distributed over 1 million books worth over $2 million.
We created 27 jobs earning over $6,000 income.
And we saved the environment by recycling over 10 tons of waste.
We bridged the social divide by uniting over 2 million Nigerians across 15 states.
Knowing that without proper financial support and guidance, a child's education will be interrupted. This is even worse in the IDP camp, as the parents of these children have no means of livelihood and depend solely on aids. This will hinder the progress of taking these children back to school, because at times, these parents send their children to beg for alms or hawk, thereby making these children vulnerable to be used by the insurgents to carry out social vices. This realization gave birth to the second phase of our project, the positive power of business.
Our goal in this phase of the project was coming up with innovative ways of transforming these people with no skills and business background into successful entrepreneurs.
With the help of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, we identified 50 parents that are skilled in weaving the popular Borno cap but lack materials to produce. We took action by empowering them with all necessary materials used for cap production and business startup, as these caps are in high demand in the northern part of Nigeria.
But we didn't just stop there. We trained 30 other parents on shoe production using used tires, thereby cutting down costs and maximizing profits. All the shoes we're wearing right now were produced by the IDPs using condemned tires.
Finally, we trained 280 women on the production of home care products such as cosmetology and antiseptics.
Having trained 360 people on these skills, we used a 5-step implementation model to convert these skills into sustainable businesses.
First, we ensured a sustainable process by forming business cooperative for each of the skill sets and set up production workshops for them in the camp.
We guaranteed sustainable business startup by providing 360 parents with tools and materials needed for their business.
We conducted business workshops where we taught them effective bookkeeping, marketing strategy, and negotiation skills.
Again, we guaranteed sustainable sales by identifying 15 sales outlets outside the states where their products are now being sold.
Finally, we adopted a business model where 10% of their profits will be used in training other parents in need of skills and financial autonomy. Through this model, over 36 parents have been trained this year.
Our poster shows that 50 parents now produce cap and earn an average monthly income of $74 each.
The 30 parents that are into shoe production now earn a monthly average income of $51 each.
And the 280 women that are into the production of home care products now earn a monthly income of $85 each.
By using waste tires in shoe production, we have ensured a cleaner environment.
We have restored hope and livelihood by empowering 360 people.
To ensure the sustainability of this project, our team initiated the creation of a new Enactus team in University of Maiduguri, which is 1 kilometer away from the IDP camp, thereby giving them the platform to monitor and replicate this project in other IDP camps across the state. Our future plan is to take this intervention to other states in the northeastern part of Nigeria and other neighboring countries.
On behalf of the Borno State government, to most sincerely appreciate the effort of this organization. We really thank you very much for your concern and commitment in this gesture. We will very much appreciate that other organizations will copy and emulate same so that it will reduce the problem that we have on ground in our
I've been moved to tears just twice in the past 3 years. First was when I lost my dad, which is a natural occurrence. Second, and the most important to me, was when I visited this camp and saw firsthand what these people has been experiencing for years.
I'll never forget the story of a child I met in this camp, how he was caged and forced to watch his parents killed and their bodies mutilated. And we knowing that leaving that child there without him being rehabilitated, he will become a perpetuator of the same act, which is why we made him one of the 11 children we took out of the camp to school outside the states.
As a team leader of this team, and also a victim of communal crisis in the northern part of Nigeria, where I also lost my parents, and the challenges I had to go through to go to school, I had a choice to either take revenge or lend a helping hand as we have done today. This is a global challenge, and standing before you today gives us the platform to advocate not just for displaced people in our country, but all around the world. We all seated in this hall can make a difference. We can lend a helping hand towards alleviating the plight of displaced persons all around the world today.
We are a team eager to leave the comfort of our classrooms and the ambiguities of theories to apply our growing knowledge in solving real challenges that affect real people.
Together, we have decided to make human progress our business.
Together, we commit to apply our passion, talent, and ideas to impact as many lives as we can.
Together, we risk our lives to take health to the most dangerous parts of our country to enable progress.
By giving 263 children access to quality education.
Distributing over 1 million books worth over $2 million.
Created 394 jobs, generating over $17,000 income.
Save the environment by recycling over 10 tons of waste.
We bridge the social divide by uniting over 2 million Nigerians across 15 states.
And together, we all can change the world.
Together, we are
Enactus
Kaduna Polytechnic.
Thank you to the team from Nigeria. Judges, you may now begin the question and answer period.
Congratulations for your great project. I have noticed that in your needs assessment, you basically met with government officials. Have you met with the IDPs themselves to see what they want, or you only went to the government officials? Concerning the opening of your film, you spoke about the girls who were kidnapped by Boko Haram. How much have you catered in your education program for the plight of girls, and how much you catered for the rehabilitation of child soldiers? Because you also referred to this in your film. Thank you.
All right. We worked with the government in the area of need assessment, but however, we're also in the camps ourselves to experience firsthand on what is happening in the camps. Most times, before you get into the camp, gain access into the camp, you have to seek permission from the National Agency, National Management Agency for Humanitarian Activities by the federal government. So that's where we partnered together. But we were on camp to gain experience on what they are feeling firsthand. We're on camp. Then the 300 girls that were kidnapped, it's demoralizing for a lot of young female students in the States because they are discouraged to go to school. But however, what we did was to ensure that we motivate them and inculcate stories and motivational activities in collaboration with UNICEF and Save the Children Foundation to motivate them and see the need to go to school. We showed them pictures of world leaders that became successful as a result of education, and that helped them a lot and motivated them to want to go to school.
Thanks for sharing a very impressive project. My question is, how many people did you have on the team that affected all this change?
260 people.
Hi, I'm Karina Gould, the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of International Development here in Canada, and I want to thank you for this impressive project and congratulate you for your work on IDPs. That's really terrific. My question is around sustainability. So you mentioned in your project that you're going to be working with the local university. Could you explain a little bit more about how that mechanism is going to work once you guys graduate and move on, and how you can continue to engage with IDPs in Nigeria? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. About the sustainability, we actually thought of transporting ourselves from Kaduna State to Maiduguri would be hectic. So we thought it wise that using collaborative approach, starting a new team in Maiduguri will help us monitor this project well. The teachers also will be retrained and monitored by the Maiduguri students. So the scalability of the project is quite impressive because we don't need to go there to monitor the project. The Maiduguri people will monitor it, and it's smooth.
And also to add to what he has said, amongst us, some of us are graduating this year. However, we have formed a team of alumni that have vowed to ensure that this project is sustained to the end. We will stand with the displaced persons in the camp until every single one of them gets back to their homes. It is a vow.
Hello. You set up the school in the camp with 5,000 potential students, and you picked 200 and some. How was that done?
Yes, we have over 5,000 students that are eligible to go to school that are out of school. But however, we're able to pick 263 back to school. That's within the limit of the resources that we have as at that time. And we're able to screen those students out with the help of Save the Children Foundation and, of course, SEMA, NEMA, and also UNICEF, to see those that have the most pressing needs. However, we can expand those classes. We can have more classrooms in there, and that's why standing before you today gives us a platform, of course,
Your time has expired. Judges, please join me in thanking the team from Nigeria.